With me on the set is Honorable Paul Mwiru, the Vice Chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. Thanks for joining me. Well, Honorable, a lot has happened this week, more especially to do with the pension scam. You are at the center of probing these witnesses that are coming before your committee. What vital information did Justice John Eudes share with your committee in regard to who messed up what?
The investigation is premised on 3 issues. First, the 15.4 billion paid out to the law firm, the 88 billion budgeted as NSSF, then later paid out as pension to the ghost alleged pensioners. Then the third is the 165 billion paid out to ghost pensioners as well. And we interacted with his lordship in as far as the 15.4 billion shillings is concerned. That it is a procedure that after a judge has pronounced himself and made a judgment, he normally pronounces himself on the costs and whether to issue certificate for 1 council or 2 council. But in this matter, there was 1 council under the matter who was council matter. So there's no way a judge will have issued the certificate for 2 council, even for one who had no personal conduct in the matter. Then the other issue is that when a bill of cost is filed and it is taxed, and a certificate of taxation is issued to show that the bill has been taxed and allowed at this amount of money. It so happened that the judgment did not have an order with certificate of 2 council. It also, there was no taxation, record of taxation proceeding that effect. And of course the documents which the law firm took to the ministry for payment were alleged to have emanated from court. So we went to the people who are alleged to have issued the court orders and said, no, these are forgeries. They produced evidence show that actually they had never issued such orders. So that, of course, was taking us to the question of from whom did the lawyers get these orders. And of course, the judge also gave us a recording that after this was unasked, the lawyer went to him to plead that, you know, this is a deal and it involved 15.4 billion shillings. There are many stakeholders involved. This is how the cutting is going to be. And the judge was recording. So the same was given to us, and the same had been given to police earlier.
But the judge claims that his signature, the signature of the court registry, were forged.
Of course,
by who?
Of course, his lordship, together with his worship, the registrar, they said they were forged. They still have a semblance. But you see now that it is up to the one who was uttered the document to tell us what was his source of document. So of course the missing link has been now the lawyer, Bob Kasangwa. We have been looking for him. We have traced wherever we expect his farm to be. Even on the net is no longer, but we are here. He operates in Rwanda and Uganda. So of course we shall use police in terms of our police, even Interpol, to see how we can get to him and tell us what was the source of the documents. Because the documents procured the 15.4 billion shillings. So that is how it is.
So at that point, how does General Otafire comes in to what many are now sensing as he was at the center of influence peddling?
Well, of course, you see, when it comes to my colleague, Honorable Minister, of course, we have to be fair to him, that we have to put these documents to him. Because the way they were written, I don't think they can be authored by someone what are being called a minister. Of course, that's the way they saw the judges distancing themselves from the order. I don't know what he may have to say about them, but of course the letter of the purported letter of the minister quotes the orders, meaning that he must have had an opportunity to look at them and even to look at the file in the Attorney General's chambers. So I think at that moment I may restrain myself from commenting about the minister, but we are going to invite him to appear before the committee, and we put these letters to him.
As a committee chair, are you not smelling a rat? A minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, writing to a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Public Service over this matter, that's something that worries you?
Well, actually, that's why I'm saying as a committee, we are not supposed to have that paranoia That's why we are the arbiter. Our work is to look at the evidence from whoever is involved, then we form a decision. In my opinion, it will be premature for me to say the minister did wrong before the minister owns up those letters. You understand? Because you see, the situation would be that now we are meeting the technical people who must say we received this letter and acted on it. Then it, of course, it has to go back to what is the source of these letters. You actually understand? Just the way everybody is on the court orders, alleged court orders, and now we trace them back to the one who uttered them. So the one who uttered them knows what was the source. So similarly with the letters, we are meeting technical people on Monday from Ministry of Finance. So the technical people must equally, once they equally pronounce themselves on the letter, then we must get to the minister and say, look, Chief, these letters, and we see what is his view about them.
Well, in the Judge John Eudes, in his submission to you, I meant to understand he raised an issue to do with why did the police, up to this point in time, has not arrested Advocate Bob Kasangwa?
Well, you see, now, on our part as the Public Accounts Committee, now we are concerned, we concern ourselves with the investigation. Then the maladministration in the police, now that has got to be taken up by the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee. I think what we shall have to do, now those are questions and those are clues. We shall make a recommendation or recommendations. If we deem it, we may even have to interface with police. Because the other big problem about corruption in the country today is also about maladministration. That there are many investigations designed to fail, or which cover the truth more than they uncover it. Even prosecutions designed to fail. So, but you see, you can only get to that conclusion after looking at the evidence. That was the opinion of His Lordship. But you see, for us, we're not to form an opinion until we have heard from the other party.
Well, you got the chance to preview the audio recordings of Justice John Eudes while recording Advocate Bob. Do you mind sharing with us?
No, actually, what we have done, of course, we listened into, but you know, as a matter of it, there are very many other things which come. We have requested our technical department to transcribe, and once we have a copy, of course, there are many issues which actually will have to come. That you see, one, the content will be known once we have transcribed it, but then what we shall now have to link it up to Kasangwa.
Obey is being mentioned in this recording, and Obey has completely refused to appear before your committee. He's on the run.
No, I don't think that is correct. The last time we had an interface, we interfaced with the lawyers, and they said they're going to appear on Tuesday. So we expect them on Tuesday. The Obey, the locals, all that group, the remaining group.
What did Obey do?
No, of course, you see, of course, now this is an investigation. And of course, our investigation will have to take us through what were his schedule of duties, vis-a-vis, we ask him what was his role in that. That we are yet to know after we have interfaced with him.
From the recordings?
Sorry?
What does Bob Kasangwa say that Obey did?
No, of course, I've said I have ordered them to be transcribed. I cannot, that is why there has to look at the transcribed copy and say this is what has been transcribed, this is what we have. I cannot based on what I said, and now this is what he said. Because, you know, there are also issues as to how, once we transcribe, we shall have to put it to him.
Doesn't this worry you that the Attorney General, who is supposed to authorize payments or approve payments, government payments, had no role to play in this scam? And it's the ministry that was paying money, just basing itself on court proceedings.
I think, for me, I find no problem with the Attorney General's chambers, because one, they have come up to give evidence that they were never involved. They were looped. That's why it goes back only to the minister. Because even under normal budgeting processes, court awards are budgeted under Ministry of Justice. They're not budgeted in public service. You understand? So I think it would be unfair to the Attorney General's chamber to start accusing them for no taking action. That's why we are narrowing up the gap. and we are narrowing by elimination. You understand? At least there are people still in the circle as we are eliminating. The doors still within our circle of investigation, who must explain how this occurred. And that's why we are getting the technical people. Tell us how they budgeted for court awards and a public service.
Well, somebody is being mentioned in this scam, and would like you to share with us what was the role of this person, Andrew Mwenda, from the submission that has so far and the document that you have.
Well, apparently that has not come to our, that has not been come to our, in terms of evidence. It hasn't come to our attention as a committee. Of course, that we have heard that many people have a lot of evidence as they keep on calling.
What have you heard?
We haven't received officially. We haven't received anything.
What have you heard?
That's what I'm saying. I've not heard anything to that effect, in as far as official, and as far as the committee is concerned.
But you say that you have heard.
Of course, just the way I have heard from you, that you are telling me has been mentioned. But as far as official the way the committee is, nobody has turned up to give such evidence. And of course, the committee would be the last to engage in speculation about, and even our rules don't allow us, Parliament, to engage in speculation. So, but of course, if evidence comes up and brings about all those issues, of course, we shall leave no stone unturned.
Right. Thanks for joining me, Honorable.
You're welcome.